Welcome to our podcast. Today we're excited to do a deep dive into Susan de Waltoff's incredible book, The Second Act, Finding Purpose, Passion, and Possibility After 50. We're here to explore how this book can help you grab life by the reins and start writing your next chapter, one filled with excitement, growth, and new possibilities. Right off the bat, what I love most about Susan's message is how she takes the idea of starting over and completely reimagines it. Reinvention doesn't mean abandoning who you've been. It's about using everything you already have, skills, experiences, wisdom, and transforming them into something that brings you fulfillment. Susan shows that your past isn't just baggage, it's your toolkit. And speaking of tools, one thing Susan emphasizes is the importance of lifelong learning. She provides great suggestions for expanding your skills and staying curious, like taking courses on platforms such as LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, or Coursera. The idea is simple. Learning doesn't end when you hit a certain age, and she makes it clear that there's no better way to feel alive than to continue growing and challenging yourself. But what about those inevitable moments when fear creeps in? Susan dedicates a whole section to fear, how to recognize it, face it, and ultimately use it to your advantage. She encourages readers to see fear as a natural part of change. Rather than running from it, Susan says, get to know it. Fear is often a sign that what you're pursuing is worth it. It's like a compass pointing toward what truly matters to you. Now, I think we need to talk about financial security because Susan is very pragmatic about this. Reinvention is exciting, but she acknowledges it can be scary if you're concerned about money. She gives solid financial advice, building a small safety net or developing a side hustle to ensure you have some cushion while pursuing a new passion. She also encourages creating realistic budgets that support your goals while maintaining stability, which is crucial to reducing stress during transitions. Another key part of this journey is self-care, and Susan has a fresh perspective on it. It's not just about bubble baths and yoga, although those are great. It's about creating a self-care routine that makes you feel empowered. She suggests building mental resilience through practices like journaling, mindfulness, or simply taking regular walks. Reinvention requires energy, and that energy has to come from taking good care of yourself, both mentally and physically. One of the things I found most inspiring is Susan's take on embracing creativity. She encourages readers to use their second act to explore creative pursuits. Maybe you want to write that novel that's been in the back of your mind. Or maybe you've always wanted to learn pottery. Whatever it is, she's all about giving yourself the space to create without judgment. The emphasis isn't on perfection, but on the joy that comes from expressing yourself. And let's talk about community, finding a support system. Susan emphasizes that no one's journey needs to be a solo one. She talks about finding like-minded individuals, whether it's joining a local club, an online group, or connecting through social media. It's about being surrounded by people who lift you up, inspire you, and want to see you succeed. And it's not just about receiving support, it's also about giving back, sharing your own experiences, mentoring someone else who's just starting out. Another key part of reinvention that Susan touches on is the importance of defining success for yourself. Society often tells us what success looks like: a big job title, financial wealth, or certain milestones achieved by specific ages. But in your second act, you get to decide what success means. Maybe it's about living more simply, having more time for your family, or pursuing a passion project. The freedom to define success on your own terms is empowering, and Susan gives us permission to do just that. She also discusses how we can build a personal brand in our second act. For many people, putting yourself out there can feel intimidating, but Susan frames it in such a way that it becomes an exciting opportunity. Your personal brand is simply the story you tell the world about who you are and what matters to you. She encourages readers to own their narrative, use platforms like LinkedIn to connect with others, and share their journey authentically. The idea isn't about boasting, but rather showcasing what you love and what makes you unique. One of the parts that really resonated with me was her section on letting go of perfectionism. So many of us feel like we can't start something new unless we're going to be amazing at it from the get-go. But Susan challenges that notion by saying that being a beginner is one of the most freeing experiences you can have. She encourages readers to embrace being a rookie again because it means you're learning, exploring, and growing. The focus shifts from being perfect to simply enjoying the process. Another crucial point Susan makes is about the power of adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and the ability to adapt is what will keep you moving forward. She shares stories of people who faced major life changes, a layoff, an empty nest, or health challenges, and found ways to adapt and thrive. Reinvention is rarely a straight path. It's often filled with detours. But Susan reminds us that those detours can lead to the most rewarding experiences if we stay open and flexible. One thing that really stood out is Susan's advice on connecting passion with purpose. She asks readers to reflect on what truly lights them up and how they can use that passion to contribute to the world. Maybe it's volunteering, mentoring, or turning a hobby into a business. It's about finding something that not only brings you joy, but also adds value to others. It's such an important reminder that we all have something unique to give. And our second act is the perfect opportunity to do just that. And let's address the fear of failure, which is something a lot of people face, especially later in life. Susan approaches this with so much empathy. She points out that failure is just feedback. It's not the end of the road. It's a way to learn what doesn't work so you can find out what does. She encourages readers to take calculated risks and see failure as a necessary part of growth. This mindset shift, from fearing failure to seeing it as a learning tool, can be incredibly liberating. Finally, Susan talks about celebrating every step, no matter how small. Reinvention is a journey, and it's easy to get caught up in waiting for the big win before we feel like we can be proud of ourselves. But she says, celebrate the little victories. Whether it's completing a course, reaching out to someone new, or even just deciding to take that first step, you deserve to acknowledge your progress. This positivity fuels the momentum needed to keep moving forward. If there's one thing I want everyone listening today to remember, it's that it's never too late. Your second act can be whatever you want it to be. Whether it's diving into a creative pursuit, starting a business, traveling the world, or simply finding more joy in each day. The second act, finding purpose, passion, and possibility. After 50 offers encouragement, tools, and practical steps you need to make it happen. If you haven't picked up Susan's book yet, it's available as a paperback on Amazon and also as a Kindle ebook. The link to the book can be found below in the description of this video. It's packed with real stories, exercises, and so much motivation to help you embrace this exciting journey. Thanks for joining us today on Second Acts Unleashed. We hope we've inspired you to take that first step, no matter how small. Remember, this is your story to write. Keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep turning those pages. Your best days aren't behind you, they're ahead. Go write that next chapter and make it extraordinary. Take care, everyone.